Let's get into MAGA Minaj and her foolish damnness. So this bitch decided to jump on the line yesterday and call out Don Lemon because Don Lemon took his behind down to because since we were already talking about it, he went down to damn, what was it? Minnesota? Because apparently there is this pastor, I believe he's a pastor, priest, whatever. Y'all all full of shit in these mega churches, whatever. Don't even get me started on your sky daddies, your book of fairy tales, and organized religion. Because to me, that brings, there's nothing about religion that really brings people together. Me, I follow more of a spiritual path. How you live your life is how you live your life. Live, live, live. As long as you're not hurting me or anybody else, live your life how you want to live. A lot of these ultra religious or people who say that they're Christian, most judgmental people I've ever come across, nasty, disgusting attitudes, and act like they shit don't stink. So I don't particularly care for people who are of a religious background or whatever the case is, because y'all just be as phony as they come. Now, in this situation, this fake ass bitch that all of a sudden run around like she a Christian, which she's fucking not, had the nerve to jump on the social media and try to come for Don Lemon because he was out there. He was out in Minnesota. I don't even think he even knew that there was a situation going on regarding um, a priest or a pastor who literally was out here helping ICE on the low. And that was exposed. So they was over there protesting him at his church because he out here being a pick me for the can white people be pick me for their own people? So yeah, so they said on Sunday, January 18th, the independent journalist shared video footage from a protest in the Twin Cities where activists interrupted a service at a church where David Easterwood, a local immigration and customs enforcement agent, how you a pastor and you working for ICE? You ain't been able to grift enough money out of your constituents with them collection plates. You had to go over there and run with ICE. See, this is why them motherfuckers be hiding their damn face. Now they say Easterwood is listed as a pastor on the city's church website. He is also listed as the acting director of ICE's St. Paul field office in a December 19th cease and desist sent by St. Paul City Attorney Lindsay M. Olson over an ICE-related incident, saying, quote, Minneapolis activists disrupted a church service where David Easterwood served as a pastor, according to a lawyer and activist by the name of Nicki. Easterwood is also the acting field office director for U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement in St. Paul, Minnesota. Former CNN anchor Don Lemon, who's 59 and looks damn good, I might add, went and posted the video on Blue Sky and actually had footage of the protest. So, of course, I had to come with the receipts. So let me pull up this video courtesy of his Blue Sky when he was out there in interviewing people. And we will come back because, we like receipts and context on this show, unlike some of these retarded ass barbs who like to run around with narratives and things and don't do their research when they really fucking need to. So we're going to play this clip and then we're going to come back and talk. Please hold.
Tell us why you're doing this.
This is Operation Pull Up, more of a clandestine operation. We show up somewhere that is a key location. They don't expect us to come there. And then we disrupt business as usual. So that's what we're about to go do right now. ICE out! ICE out! ICE out! ICE out! ICE out! ICE out! Demanding justice for Renee Good and letting them know that this will not stand. They cannot pretend to be a house of God while harboring someone who is directing ICE agents to wreak havoc upon our community and who killed Renee Good, who almost killed a 6-month-old baby. Enough is enough. I am a reverend on top of being a lawyer and an activist. So I come here in the power of the Almighty God.
Tell us why you're doing this.
This is
So what she said. Now, after all of that, because apparently this broad likes to just jump on social media because she's a damn chaos demon, like Donald Trump, damn chaos demons. They like to rile you up. They like to start their mess, but don't be understanding the context of why they're going to jump in and say things that they say. She jumps on social media with her stupid ass Chucky picture and then wants to just say a bunch of stuff, which I keep saying, bitch, you keep using the wrong damn doll. First of all, Chucky was anti-consumerism. Have you ever even seen Child's Play? Apparently not, because if you ever seen the first movie, the movie was about that this big good guy doll was all the rage, kind of like how my buddy and kid sister. I know my younger brother used to actually have a my buddy. I was a little too old for my buddy at that point, but my younger brother had a my buddy doll, whatever the case was, and they literally looked like a Chucky doll, except he had blonde hair and Chucky had red hair. So back in the 80s or whatever the case was, um, they had these dolls or whatever the case was, and in the movie it was basically about this woman was trying to get her hands on this doll that was all the rage. And if y'all ever seen like how it was back in the day, how people used to go to these stores and want to get their thing on their hands on the next big toy, be it a Cabbage Patch or My Buddy or whatever, or Teddy Ruxpin. Remember those? So when you had one of those, the people be wilding out in the stores or whatever. So apparently she comes across this person in an alleyway that sells her this doll. Apparently the doll is possessed by a demon or Charles Lee Ray, a serial killer, and all hell breaks loose. So if you really look in the deep trenches of what Child's Play is about, it's about it's about consumerism. I can't say anti-consumer, it's about consumerism. And that's really what the root of it is. And plus, also, you out here trying to be homophobic, bitch. Are you not aware Chucky also has a non-binary child? So you be trying to think you eating with stuff, but you always come out here looking like a straight up bird. Fucking idiot. And the more she talks, the more stupid she comes across. Because I got a post a video on her where she came out talking about um religion, her favorite quote. Oh, that was a cackle. It just goes to show, like, girl, you don't even know what the hell you talking about. You just about as phony as they come. You just trying to jump on something because you need attention. Because you got a son that basically the only way he communicates, he got to bang on the table. And the fact that you have a husband that don't truly love you. So who else you communicating with? You by yourself, you lonely up in that damn house, is punching the air, looking at the four walls, and allegedly putting that powder up your nose. So who you having conversations? So you got to go on social media with these crash outs because you bored, you unhappy with your life. But bitch, guess what? You created this monster. So you decided to make your bed, now lay in it. So this is the post that she decided to put up online, and it says the following: Don C. Sucking Lemon is disgusting. How dare you? I want that thug in jail. He would never do that to any other religion. Lock him up. So he was just out there minding his business, doing the job. He's out in the field interviewing people, similar to like what Status Quo is doing. I don't know if you ever heard of Status Quo. Definitely check them out. They be out there on the ground following and recording and reporting on a lot of what's been happening in our country, particularly when they was doing Alligator Auschwitz, when they were out there on the ground reporting that. I've been following them ever since. And then they went and they did this thing with the church. So he was out there doing what a journalist, ma'am, because last time I checked, you supposed to be a rapper, right? Why you not rapping? Instead of acting up in here, acting like because you can put out a couple of tweets on something that you don't understand what you're talking about, that it makes you sound smart, but it's only making you sound like a fucking idiot, which you are. And it goes to show that a lot of these celebrities that y'all like to follow around, they're all less than smart. Sidebar, I actually want to clarify something because the other day we was talking about, because when we talking about rappers and MAGA and all this other stuff, there was a report that came out that everybody was running with, and even I ran with it, but I didn't get all the details about Ludacris doing this festival with Kid Rock and all this other stuff. Well, apparently, according to Shaka Zulu, who was a part of Luda's camp, he had a conversation with, and I'm gonna give shout out to Ebro because he brought this up on Ebro in the morning. So I do want to use that and clarify and say that we all ran with this story, but we didn't know the real tea. And apparently, according to Shaka Zulu, he said that Ludacris was never on the list. They decided to run with it. And I guess maybe what it was that there was maybe a deal in place that maybe Luda was gonna sign on or whatever. This is me thinking out loud. I think Luda was thinking about doing it. He probably was weighing his options. Of course, with all the backlash, he was like, "Nah, I'm not doing it." And they didn't take his name off. So they wanted to start some mess and probably get back at him. But they should have put this out there from the beginning. Why haven't y'all gotten on social media and told these reporters to clarify this? If Luda is not, I said from the beginning, he's not a part of it. But anyway, I just want to say that as it pertains to this and get that out the way. So so she decided to put that up there. And then I had somebody in my comments when I posted online talking about, I didn't know calling somebody a C-sucker as a derogatory is homophobic. See, this is the part that pissed me off when y'all be sitting up here trying to play in my face like I'm dumb. That's the one thing that is like a trigger for me. If you're gonna sit up here and try to play like people are stupid. When you have a woman, and you already know there's already situations where black women have an issue with whenever gay men do something that don't sit right with them, y'all ready to call us sissies, punks, and rhymes with maggots. Y'all be quick with that. And I know because I've heard it and I've witnessed it. And I've had to cuss motherfuckers out at that point, to the point where them bitches ran away in tears and wished that and wanted to basically look back on their life and wonder why am I even here? Like, yeah, you should have went. Like, I curse people out to the point you're gonna wish that your mother aborted you at this point. That's how deep I go. And I made many a bitches cry, and I feel no ways tired about it. Because this mouth is disgusting. This mouth is lethal, and I don't give a good goddamn. I dig into the worst parts of hell. I circle the 7 rings of hell when they talk about when they go low. That's how deep I go, and I don't feel no ways tired about it. So we already have that issue when it comes to that sort of thing. But when you have a woman who's out here calling a man a sea-sucker, knowing full on well he's gay, how else are we supposed to receive that? How else are we supposed to take that? Yes, it's rooted in homophobia because this man being gay, he sucks dick. Well, at least he's doing something. What you doing for your husband, ma'am? I'll wait. Maybe if you was sucking your husband dick, y'all wouldn't be out here doing what you doing and doing it the right way. You probably wouldn't be needing to come out here and doing the things that you're doing. But yet again, when you say these things, we misogynistic, we saying things mean against women. So y'all get to say whatever the fuck y'all want to say. But then when we clap the fuck back, we're in the wrong. No, bitch, you get the same energy that you give out. I'm not sitting here tap dancing like this hoe does because y'all don't like you being just as bad. Well, I guess the fuck I am. And what you gonna do about it? Nothing. So yeah, and then all of a sudden, then she was like saying she was started making derogatory comments talking about that he all of a sudden, he's married to a white man, and all of a sudden now he want to be out here doing this stuff with black people, whatever. And it's like, yeah, once upon a time I did side eye Don Lemon with certain things, whatever the case was, but that's probably because he was over there with that CNN. But once he decided to become and I'm just being funny. Once he decided to cut them shackles over, become a free slave from CNN, and he came over here to our side of the our neck of the woods, became a independent and a free thinker. His show was skyrocketed. Him and Joy Reid, welcome to the club. I'm glad y'all came over to the right side. And now they out here telling people the real tea about what's going on in the world. So, ma'am, you need to catch up to what's going on because Don Lemon's been out here doing the work. And the things that CNN would probably tell him not to do if he was still working over there, now he can come over here and do all the things and then try to say he said misogynistic things, whatever. Okay, those are accusations. We don't even know if that shit is true. So, but then Don Lemon went on his show and decided to point out that, all the things about Nicki Minaj and her money troubles and the thing about the house, which we're going to get into that in a second. And the fact about her husband is a convicted sex offender and failed to register when they moved to LA, which got him on the probation. So it's all public record. So when everybody wants to come here and bend themselves like pretzels, saying, this is not what happened. No, Google is your friend. CBS, all the majors have basically come out and corroborated this. So when y'all sit up in here and try to bend yourselves like a damn pretzel, so that way, because you want to protect your faith, who wouldn't even spit on your ass if you was on fire, then you continue to do that. You continue to sit in the cult. And that's why a lot of y'all like Nicki, because she's similar to Trump, with the fact that a lot of y'all sit in this cultist type bullshit, this cultist behavior. So with all that being said, Don also, after she said what she said, Don got on his platform and clapped back. He said a whole lot of stuff. I mean, you got to watch his Don Lemon show. He did something with him and DL. DL ate him up. And I do have that DL clip too, where he spoke to TMZ. There was a lot of acronyms. CNN, MSNBC, CBS, TMZ. I've been saying so many acronyms, child, my brain is starting to turn into a damn pretzel. So we have the clip of Don Lemon. Hold on as I pull that up because I told you this show is receipt heavy today. Because like I told you, a lot of these barbs like to come up here with their bullshit, and it's like when I come with receipts, y'all can't say a damn word. But anyway, let's go back. Let's play this clip, and we'll come back and talk. Please hold.
Me about responding to Nicki Minaj's unhinged homophobic tweet about me. I usually don't respond to this stuff, but let me just say this. Nicki Minaj, stop talking about shit for which you know nothing about. This is out of your depth, by the way, and you are a homophobic bigot. You don't care about African Americans. You're not an African American. From what I know, you are reportedly an undocumented citizen, so you should be deported under Donald Trump's rules. And the other thing is that your family members, you have one family member who is reportedly a sex offender, the other family member, your husband or whatever, a sex offender is your husband, and one of them is reportedly a pedophile. And you have nerve to talk about me and what you think that I do? Nicki Minaj, get a life. Stop being a pick-me. You should have put a pick-me doll on that damn tweet instead of a Chucky doll, because you are nothing but a pick-me. And I choose not to pick you. And so should black people, and so should gay people. Shouldn't buy your music. Clock that.
And one thing we got to also realize that we'll see if this people that she's trying to grift for are actually going to go and buy her music. Because remember, didn't she say she's supposed to be coming out with an album in March? February is literally around the corner. Today is January 20th. So where the first single at? Why are you not focusing on that? Why haven't you shot a music video for it? Why haven't you announced the track listing, album cover? Like, what's going on? Miley was good, since that's your favorite phrase. What's good was with the music. So you busy on social media pulling bullshit and trolling. And also, I want to point this out. So on today's Don Lemon show, he did have Charles from TMZ on there. And Charles mentioned that she did try to walk back a little bit of what she said by calling him a C-sucker. And this ain't the first gay man, forgot to point this out, that she called the C-sucker. She called Jason Lee the same thing. So when he was talking about her, I don't remember what it was. She's always in the news with some bullshit. So pick a story. And she came out and said, and basically called him that too. So at what point do we have the gay people that have come out that work in media? She's saying stuff about them and referring them as cocksuckers. Like, come on now. We're going to sit up in here and continue to act obtuse? Okay. Well, I feel like you choose to be brain dead at this damn point. And I work on a whole nother plane, energy-wise and mental-wise. So if this ain't something that you can understand and compute with, scroll on to the next thing. So what Charles said was that she tried to walk back some of what she said and was like, she used certain words in what she said in the tweet to get a rise. So that way y'all could pay more attention to what's going on. But I'm like, if you can't intellectually make yourself be heard and try to articulate what you have to say without calling people derogatory names, and I know some people would be like, I'm being a hypocrite. There's a method to my madness when I'm articulating my words and I'm using profanity and shady comments. I'm a homosexual. That's how we talk. So you're gonna get all the bells and whistles and the all the extraness that goes with what I'm trying to say. But if you was listening, I said what the fuck I need to say in this whole situation. So that's bullshit. My thing is that you jumped online per usual, jumping in something you don't know what you're talking about, spewing misinformation, and now you got egg on your face. You did it when you said that your cousin wound up getting something with his balls or whatever, with COVID and whatever the fuck she said with that shit. And then you've been out here making derogatory things. You've said all kinds of nasty things, from Little Kim on down to Megan Thee Stallion. Shout out to Megan Thee Stallion. She was at the Knicks game yesterday. Don't even get me started on how terrible that game was, but she was there. Because her man plays for the other team that was playing against the Knicks. So you said all kinds of crazy stuff with all the beefs and everything. At some point, you got to look at it as like, okay, you are the problem. Just like how Maury would say, you are not the father, or you are the father, you are the problem. She is the problem. You are the common denominator that's in the midst of all of this. So at what point do we stop applauding and accepting and thinking it's all cute or whatever with all the bad behavior that she likes to put out there? At what point do we take responsibility for the shits? But now I want to get into this other, because I told you it's going to be receipt heavy. Godfrey went in on her, and I was like, you want to know something? A lot of the stuff he said is true, because I've been saying that about a lot of you Negroes and a lot of you damn immigrants. If it was ever a point that we was all slaves today and we was all trying to make the escape, you be the bitch that run up in there and say, they trying to leave. She definitely gives me that. And I'm glad that Godfrey co-signed, because I got the clip. Hold on. So we can get into that. Please hold again.
What's going on? Black folks are so quick to sell each other out. We're so up. Black people, African, Caribbean, all of us. From colonialism, from sucking up to white folks, white supremacy. This is the results of this. All this Aunt Jemima you doing. You got these Aunt Jemima buck dancing ass Negroes will be in a heartbeat sell another black person out or dog them in person. It doesn't even connect right. Nicki's the type of person that if we were trying to escape from slavery, she'd be the first one to go like this. They trying to leave. Can you believe that? They're trying to escape. See, here's the problem. You people keep showing up to our concerts. A lot of these celebrities that sell us out, you keep showing up to their concerts. You put money in their pocket. When you put money in people's pocket, that's when they act a goddamn fool. You understand? It's like going to one of those stores that disrespect black people. They disrespect you because you keep paying them. So if you stop paying her and show her as a group that we don't play that, it's all about money, guys. It's all about money. She must be getting some of her pedo relatives off of, I don't know, out of jail. I don't know. There's something like that that's happening. That's what people are saying. But I think that what Don, this video right now is just so great. And this is what Don is about. You come at him, he gonna come at you. Take a look.
Nicki Minaj should just sit the down. And by the way, isn't she married to an alleged pedophile? So Nicki Minaj, F off, stop being a homophobic bigot, and get a life and some brains.
I give a shout out to my brother Don Lemon. Ever since he left CNN, Don Lemon has been a force in journalism, activism, straight up. I'm telling you, I love the way Don is rolling now, man. And by the way, me and Don Lemon have the same barber. Shout out to my man Yusuf in New York City. Diamond Fades right there in New York in Manhattan. Anyway, so ever since I was helping him on his podcast when he was campaigning for Kamala Harris, it's been a pleasure to work with him. The Don Lemon Show, being a lemon head. I mean, me, Jolly Ginger, D.L. Hughley, Joy Reid. It's great to be amongst all these great, like, political minds and stuff. And yeah, man. And Don don't let anybody talk to him. Don will be on the street, try to punk him. He'd be like, no, you. How about that? And it's nice to hear Don go, you.
You're a moron, dude. Thank you. So are you.
You know what I'm saying? And, Don is a real journalist, real journalist. CNN always tried to pull him in, tried to stop him from doing it. But to see Don go, hi, everybody, it's Don Lemon Show. It's fantastic. It warms my heart. He's my brother from another mother. And I'm going to tell you something. You guys got him. You see, Don, he's the gay dude with the nice little hair. He is from Louisiana. You don't these Southern folks, man. Southern folks got that thing in them. That meow in them. You know what I'm saying? Don will put the mojo on your ass. And Nicki Minaj coming at Don Lemon. You're reaching, Nicki. What is going on? Are you bipolar? Is it dementia? Is there a tumor on your brain? What is going on? Black folks are so quick to sell each other out. We're so up. Black people, African, Caribbean.
Okay, so the clip started repeating again. So yeah, I'm like, something got to be going on with her. Maybe she got brain rot after she had that child, because like they always say that. So a lot of time when you push out a baby, you push out every aspect of your body. So maybe her damn mind went bad too. But then again, that's no excuse, because her mind was gone bad long before she pushed out Papa Bear. So yeah, so he went and said what he said in regards to that. And it's like, yeah, y'all be sitting up here thinking that just because a lot of us are homosexuals, that y'all think that stereotype that we weak or whatever the case was. It's like, nah, I grew up in Brownsville, Brooklyn. I had to learn how to fight, because what you wasn't going to do is sit up here and punk me out. So y'all got us all the way fucked up in that whole situation. Now, last but certainly not least, let me check, because, oh, wait. Let's get into this D.L. Hughley video, courtesy of TMZ, where he went in on her as well. Please hold.
Today is a momentous day for a lot of reasons. We're celebrating the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Right.
But the backdrop is what it is right now.
Right.
What do you think he would feel about this?
He would be disappointed in some of the things he was fighting for. He still is, and I think that ultimately he oftentimes is used as a slogan, but nobody ever really embraces the true meaning of his message. The American president has said that he's not above using force to protect their rights. He's encouraged those people over there to be violent and to be destructive, while he's willing to use the might and power of the United States military to to attack the government there for being oppressive, while using the power of the government here to squelch free speech. So it just seems hypocritical. I think ultimately it is more familiar than it is. This is not new. This is retro.
There was a whole scene that unfolded at this church.
Right.
You saw this, right? Nicki Minaj going after Don Lemon. You see this, like for reporting it.
It was so funny to me. People hate. It's so funny how many other writers hate. They hate transgender and gay people more than they do pedophiles. It's amazing to me. Nicki don't need to worry about Don. She need to be with damn Don Lemon. Nicki Minaj need to be worried about Chris Hansen. She needs to be worried about it. There are more illegal immigrants, if that is your cause, in Texas, in Florida, in Illinois, in Georgia, even in California. He is punishing those people. One, because the governor ran against him, and two, he just wants to be evil. This is a campaign against blue states and blue cities. Donald Trump has used America, and he's used them in Somalia, in Libya, in Venezuela, in Nigeria. He's also used American military in Los Angeles, in Minneapolis, in Chicago, and in DC.
All right, so y'all pretty much got what he had said about Nicki Minaj. Yeah, you need to be worrying more about Chris Hansen and less about Don Lemon. So there. Now, last but certainly not least, and then we can get up off this. This was a cackle. I don't know what's been going on with TikTok, but y'all been getting on my damn nerves. Apparently, I can't pause none of the videos and whatever and leave them where I'm at. I don't know why it's not allowing me to do it, but we're going to play this clip about her asking what her favorite Bible verse is from that old coon that work over there at Fox News. Because I remember seeing this old ginormous looking, giraffe looking bitch before that she talking to. And this is Nicki saying her favorite Bible verse is from Psalms 23. I didn't know there was a Sam. I could have sworn the name was Psalm, but okay. Because last time I checked, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West didn't name their child Sam. The child's name is Psalm. But according to her, that's what it's called. Let's play the clip and we'll come back and talk. Please hold.
A lady just asked Nicki Minaj what her favorite Bible verse was. Check out what Nicki said.
Do you have a favorite Bible verse?
Well, I would say the simple one that everyone knows, Psalms 23. It's short, but it is so visual and it gets to the point, and it calms you when you need to feel calm, and it also makes you feel protected when that's how you need to feel as well. My grandmother would make me say that prayer in Trinidad when I was just a toddler. I was probably like 4 years old. She would make all of the grandchildren in the house say that prayer. So till this day, it has a special meaning to me.
Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my...
Yeah, we don't need you to recite it. We know what it means. We saw that it was up there. But anyway, so it goes to show, like, tell me this broad don't know what the hell she talking about. Just like, I don't understand. This broad is an immigrant who knows nothing about Nigeria, has no credentials regarding anything to do with Christianity. This is all news to me that all of a sudden now she a Christian. She ain't never came out and said nothing like that. And let's also not forget how she was blackballed from the Grammys when she did that performance with the priests and all the other stuff. And the people was over there at the Grammys was so pissed off because she thought she was going to be the Black Madonna and try to do something controversial with that. Except the difference is Madonna actually is a grew up Roman Catholic. Now she practices Kabbalah and all other stuff. But she came up Roman Catholic and started incorporating a lot of religious imagery into her music and in her performances because that is a wheelhouse that she plays in. That's a sandbox she plays in because she grew up in that just like I did, which is why I didn't mind about the religious imagery because I also was raised Roman Catholic. So I understood a lot of the symbolisms and things she was putting up in there and calling out Catholicism on its hypocrisy and always questioning organized religion, which they tell you not to do. And that was something I always did. So that's why as an artist, she always resonated with me. But Nicki, you was just trying to jump on something because you thought you was gonna be controversial and you thought you could do the Madonna thing, but like Lil Nas X, y'all didn't think it through. And now look at y'all careers in the toilet. I didn't mean to hit Lil Nas with that stray, but sir, it just came up. So yeah, worry about your rapist brother, worry about your convicted offender husband, and focus a little, figure out what you got going on within your life. Work on that. Work on your nasty, evil, dark spirit, and stop harassing people online, mocking people's deaths, mocking people like Megan Thee Stallion with her pow pow, talking about she want to be a victim like Rihanna. Yeah, those are all the things that she said over the years. So I think at this point I pretty much beat this woman down enough. Oh wait, I almost forgot. So I think all this stems from there's a reason why I feel like this is all happening all of a sudden. Because apparently, let's talk about this whole house situation where they was talking about that she about to lose that house. So apparently, according to reports, she has until later this week to pay that $503,000 lawsuit judgment or risk losing her $20 million California mansion. This Thursday, January 22nd, a Los Angeles Superior Court judge is expected to issue a final ruling on whether to force the sale of the rapper's $19.5 million mansion. The decision stems from a motion filed by Thomas Weidenmuller, who's a former security guard who's been trying to collect the $503,318 judgment for an assault he suffered at the hands of her bitch-ass husband, Kenneth Petty, in 2019. Now, despite Minaj's immense wealth, estimated at over $150 million, the judgment has remained unpaid for over a year. Now, Judge Cindy Panuco has signaled she is ready to take the extraordinary measure of auctioning the home to ensure Weidenmuller finally gets paid, saying, quote, "My tentative is to grant this," Judge Panuco stated during a preliminary hearing in November. With the final paperwork now likely in hand, Thursday's hearing could see the gavel come down on one of the most high-profile celebrity real estate seizures in recent history. Here I thought the real estate seizure was with Katy Perry and taking that them having that old man having to pay her. Said the only thing that saved the home from being seized in late 2025 was a single piece of paper. During the November 24th hearing, Judge Panuco paused the forced sale solely to wait for a specific document from Bank of America. The court required an official statement detailing exactly the amount of equity Minaj holds on the property. They specifically needed proof of her payments on the home's $13.3 million mortgage. That document was due ahead of this week's January 22nd hearing. If the bank records confirm that Weidenmuller's legal team has argued, which is that Minaj has roughly $6 million in equity in the home, the judge has indicated she will sign the order, saying, quote, "It is regrettable that the extraordinary measure of forcing the sale of Minaj's dwelling is required," Weidenmuller's lawyers wrote in their filing. "But the result is entirely the product of their intransigence in not making payment." Now, let's get into how did we get here? The legal saga dates back to September 2019 concert in Frankfurt, Germany. Weidenmuller was working security and alleged that Kenneth Petty sucker punched him backstage during a dispute over a female security guard. The attack left Weidenmuller with a broken jaw that required multiple surgeries and the insertion of 5 metal plates. He sued the couple for battery and emotional distress. Well, yeah, if you're putting your hands on somebody when you shouldn't be doing that, get your money. Pay me for my pain is what I say. Crucially, Minaj and Petty failed to respond to the lawsuit in time, resulting in a default judgment in Weidenmuller's favor in 2024. The court awarded him $503,318 to cover his medical bills and suffering. Rather than cutting a check, the debt has gone unsettled. This left Weidenmuller to pursue the nuclear option of seizing assets. His legal team argued that they tried levies and garnishments to no avail, which leaves the house as the only viable target. For industry observers, the situation is baffling. The debt owed, $503,000, is roughly 2.5% of the home's value at $20 million. If the judge orders the sale, the property could likely be auctioned off, kind of like Kim Zolciak and Croy Bierman's mansion in Georgia. The proceeds will first go to pay off the mortgage leader, Bank of America, and then the homestead exemption, roughly $600K protected under California law, and finally Wyden Muller's judgment. Minaj would keep the remaining profit, but she would lose her primary residence in the process, saying, quote, "It makes zero financial sense to lose a customized 12,000 square foot estate over a $500,000 debt." A luxury real estate attorney cited. Usually a check is cut the minute a lien is threatened. The fact that it has reached this stage suggests either a breakdown in communication or a stubborn refusal to pay on principle. And knowing Maga Minaj, it's the opposite. It's the latter. I was gonna say the opposite, the latter. So I definitely feel like it's pride, ego. She doesn't want to pay it, and she's doing it on principle. So I feel like what this needs to happen is like, yeah, you need to strong arm and threaten that house, bitch, you about to lose your house, and if you don't go and pay what you owe. And I feel like it's going to literally come down to a last minute thing. They're going to make a deal. She's going to cut her check. He'll be happy. Probably won't even get the 503,000 that he's asking for. They'll probably end up getting less. And then of course you got to pay the attorneys and all that other stuff. So I believe she'll end up settling. It'd be the smart thing to do, child. You don't want to be out here having to downsize or be homeless, and you got to move somewhere else. And if y'all decide to leave California, then Kenneth got to register again. Otherwise, he'll end up either on probation. But I don't think they'll do that. The next time they'll probably throw his ass in jail. So they said that this is not just an investment party. It is Minaj's family home, which she purchased in December of 2022, shortly after the birth of her son. The modern farmhouse sits on an acre of land in the exclusive Hidden Hills enclave, and she literally is neighbors with people like the Kardashians and Drake. It features 8 bedrooms, a resort-style saltwater pool, and a detached guest house. Minaj has frequently showcased her home on Instagram and often refers to it as Gag City headquarters. Well, whatever. Now, if the judge does rule in Wyden Muller's favor, the process won't be instant. Her team, Minaj's, will likely file an emergency appeal to halt the sale. However, the optics of a sheriff's sale looming over a superstar's home are damaging enough. And I should also say that Minaj or her husband have not publicly commented on the hearing and all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, let me just wrap this up because I'm done talking about this broad. But I just feel like I find it relatively hilarious that she got so much shit to talk about Don Lemon, but you was real quiet when Kaya just went in on your ass, as when she was going in on Tokyo Tony, and you got hit with that stray. Where she was up in here talking about, other stuff, and y'all was going in with y'all beef or whatever the case was. So it's funny how you've been real quiet when Kaya went in on you, but you got a whole lot of smoke for Don Lemon. Anyway, so I say all this to say, oh yeah, because I forgot to put this headline or whatever in it, because that was the next headline. So yeah, what do you guys think of this story? And also, I should also point out that, yeah, Don Lemon has spoken out against the whole Trump DOJ official threat because, they was out here saying, Harmeet Dillon, I think he's Indian. I can't with you colored pygmies. So yeah, he basically defended storming the Minneapolis church and shutting down the worship service, saying this is what the First Amendment is about, the freedom to protest. I'm sure people here don't like it, but protests are not comfortable. Now, I was going to say, yeah, absolutely. There's nothing comfortable about protesting. There's nothing chic about it. You use it to fight for our basic human rights that a lot of you government officials are trying to take away from us, while Democrats just sit on their hands and play the victim. So I say all this to say, I know this was a lot to unpack. This was definitely, if we're going to talk about something of this topic, it is multi-layered. So it is going to be a bit lengthy in regards of me breaking down what I need to break down. But I definitely want to hear from y'all. What do you guys think overall on this story on Nicki having another one of her damn crash outs on social media based on a situation in politics she knows nothing about, per usual? So whatever your thoughts are on this matter, let me know in the comments down below.